I'm beginning to regret that college credit internship I posted on Craigslist. Kyle, can you please be quiet? You are to be seen, not heard. If you want your college credits, you're going to have to be quieter than that. Did we ever discuss your room and board situation here while on Cybertron? You can recharge next to Ravage's cat bed. Keep one optic open though. Ravage likes to hunt vermin your size for sport. Now then, where was I? That's right, dear fellow listeners. I am not in the following comics, so no need to continue any further. Save yourselves the time and crank up the latest Rihanna song, or listen to Sick Beats by Beyonce. Still here? Pity. I suppose we can tune in to the show.
Hello and welcome to the podcast where we are currently recapping the events of the Transformers IDW 2019 continuity. I'm Onyx Prime with my two wonderful co-hosts here.
Hi, I'm Killobyte.
And I'm Clickbait.
Moving on with our comic discussion for today's episode takes us to IDW Transformers Escape issues 1 through 5. And as always, spoiler warning. Right on, Kilo. So if you haven't read it already, we highly recommend you go back, read the comics, then come listen to the podcast. Also, we have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before. So click that subscribe button, tell your friends, it's a good time. Now onwards. Clickbait, do you mind giving us the fun facts and trivia about the comics we're discussing for today's episode?
Absolutely. So, some fun facts for these comics. We're going to be reviewing 5 comics today. Issue 1 was released in December 30th of 2020, with issue 5 coming out July 6th of 2021. Our writer for these issues is going to be Brian Reckley, and our artist is going to be Beth McGuire-Smith, with colors by Priscilla Tramontano. On to our trivia. In issue 2, we meet Meteorfire, who is based on the Cyberverse character of the same name. In that continuity, Meteorfire was an explorer who hosted the television program Alien Hunt. Appropriately enough, this universe features him as a member of Cybertron's Xenobiology Division. I love the Xenobiology Division, and I love that they keep up with that throughout these comics.
It's pretty cool.
Anyway, it's so cool. I love it. In issue 4, on page 8, a trio of stasis pods parked next to Leviathan depict Chase, Blades, and Boulder in their Cybertronian bodies, as they appeared in the first episode of the Rescue Bots cartoon. That intro is so much fun. And now, Kilo, can you give us a summaries of these comics?
Will do. Amidst impending civil war, Nautica, Road Rage, and Hound defend Cybertron's organic immigrants from an ancient threat. And as always, this information was taken from the wiki. And we would like to give a special shout out to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the show, and without you, we wouldn't be here.
Thank you so much. You are the best, and you deserve a Rod Star.
Absolutely.
You know what? They deserve something better. You know what?
Rod Star.
I just heard from our shipping agency, Subsys, Cybertronian United Postal Office, Anyway, long story short, we are getting pins, and I think the patrons deserve pins for free. What do you think?
You know what? They
cool.
put all their spark into this. I think they should get free pins too.
So as soon as they get here, I'll be in contact with each of you, and you can get your own pins. I'll even let you choose which ones you want. We have 2 different kinds.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sounds exciting.
We'll throw them on the screen
fancy.
Later in the video when we talk about the Patreon thing again. All right. Are you 2 ready to get started?
I'm always ready.
All right, starting off, the Insecticons attack the organic domes with Hound, Road Rage, and Nautica there to protect them. All the while, Decepticons try to attack the medical buildings somewhere else. Thoughts? Favorite scenes?
This issue, this whole series opened up with a bang. Like, we kind of already know where we are in the series, but they've just shifted completely, and now you're actually in the middle of the collateral damage that this civil war on Cybertron is causing, and it's super cool. My personal favorite scene is where one of the medics. Who is it? Defends. I think it's Hoist. Hoist, yeah.
Yeah.
He threatens the Decepticons with all his little gadgets, and he's basically standing in between the Decepticons and all the bots under his care and the bots who are, taking refuge there. And I think it's super accurate. Medical professionals, Cybertronians, humans, they all do the same thing. And I thought it was great how they had him stand up for everybody.
They all deserve an applause because they are honestly the true heroes, the defenders. Rod stars for all of them, I think. And better raises.
Yes, they don't get paid enough Shannix or human money to do that.
Yeah, I do like Hoy's design. He looks more beefy and more. I don't know, and there's something about it that makes it look stand out to me compared to his normal toy. So I really enjoy his design here. And I don't know if it's now or if it's a little bit later. I really enjoy there's a fight where Nautica and Road Rage are fighting the Insecticon swarm.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Nautica says "Oh, I'm here, Road Rage," and Road Rage is like, "Yeah, I know you're there because if you weren't there, that means I'd be dead already." And I just that interaction.
That's later.
That's an issue 4. Yeah, that's an issue
I'm getting
4.
ahead. It's just they fight
it's actually an issue 5, but yes.
Oh. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was funny, and I think there's another one where Nautica picks up the gun to
protect Road Rage. That's an issue 1. That's in this one.
That's an issue 1. Okay, and then she shoots, and Road Rage is like, I'll take that back. She's like, yeah, good idea, because it doesn't suit me. And I really like those interactions between them.
I love those two. They're so
They're
cute.
really good personalities.
Yeah.
I love how they really fleshed out Hound. He's not just this kind of grumpy old man. He has a lot of history behind it. And he's done and seen a lot of things that have given him a really big appreciation. And they kind of go into this in detail later. Really big appreciation for the various life that occupies the universe. And I really enjoyed that. That was great.
Yeah.
Yes, please do go into detail when we get there, because I think I know which moment you're talking about when he's talking to a certain someone.
A certain someone.
Certain someone. Speaking of certain someones, eventually everyone gets the idea to have the organics, wait for it, escape Cybertron. But my favorite scene is getting to see Dia Atlas awaken from their merged state with Cybertron. How do you think something like this happens? It's kind of shown a little bit with an alarm system that he gave the organics and whatnot, but why him and not others emerging? Theories, ahoy.
He definitely mentions that the signal could have been a possibility, could have been a trigger that brought him back, but he says he's not completely there. So I think this could be a way, a backup of it, a backup memory or reflex, because he says that he was in between still merging with Cybertron and now being awoken. So I feel like it could be something. I don't know if Transformers really have this, but maybe a safety backup. That way he could still help out if needed at some point, kind of like a countermeasure. Oh, we went so quiet. Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping Clickbait would hop in, but if we're ready to move on, we can move on.
I don't entirely know that one.
I don't know it either. This is me guessing. That's why it's a theory.
I have no idea. I don't know that much about that. I figure it was probably mostly referenced in prior continuities, which I haven't read. So I was like, oh, cool, new character.
Nope.
Oh, Dia Atlas?
He was in 2005.
And then I believe he was in some older...
He could be a Japan exclusive character.
I believe he is, but I haven't watched most of that either.
Yeah.
Out of the wheelhouse. All right. With the Titans no longer being an option to escape Cybertron, the gang goes to Darkmount and meets with Straxus to try and get some arcs, which I kind of like seeing Straxus.
Oh my gosh, he's insufferable.
Is he a new character?
Okay, so yes, no, he's not a new character.
He's not a new character.
He's been around. He's been around some other continuities. I don't think he was in the show, but I could be wrong. He is annoying. I agree with you, Clickbait, but he does have a point, which is even more annoying.
But that's why it's so annoying, is because he does have a point.
I liked him.
And what's that point, Clickbait?
Well, he claims, I don't know what his actual true motivations are, but he claims that he's being annoying and restricting access to the city in order to protect his people of the city, and that he's trying to prevent more Decepticon attention from falling onto him because he is refurbishing. I believe he said there's four arcs from the expansion, the Age of Expansion, that have been hidden throughout Cybertron. And Straxus, by pandering to this notion that he is not paying attention and is a little bit, eccentric, he has since had the leeway to go out and collect these 4 arcs, 3 of which function, 2 of which he has been actively repairing, in order to get his people out of Cybertron, because he has come to the same conclusion that if his people don't want to bow to the Decepticons, then they'll be killed, and he doesn't want that for his people. So, yes, he has a point, but come on, man, these are refugees.
Yeah, no, exactly. Kilo?
No, I I like his design, and
he does look great. He does look wonderful.
He does prefer helping his own people before helping the organics, and it's because of the way he sees himself. He sees like he's the leader of Dark Mountain. He feels like Dark Mountain is its own city or state. That way, like, it doesn't correlate with all of the other Senate-led cities. And so I feel like he definitely has an ego, and he's definitely like, I am the top bot here, and like I'll do things my way. So, but I don't know. I kind of liked his personality. I want to see more.
He was very the people put the trust in me, so I will do everything I can in my power to put them first.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He does give me kind of like a culty kind of bot
absolutely.
vibe as well. So
It's very culty because it's very excluding other bots outside of the cult.
Yeah, but there is a Titan that they show when they're showing the arcs. There's a Titan that they show, so I don't know if the arcs form that Titan or not. But when I first saw that Titan, the colors gave me a tidal wave vibe from Armada. I know it's definitely not tidal wave, but the face and the proportions kind of made me think of tidal wave. So I was like interested to see if they were gonna mention that the arcs will combine and make tidal wave or something like. And I'm like, ooh, that's a cool idea.
Interesting. I also enjoy when Dia Atlas is talking to everybody, their flashbacks, mainly because we get to see more details on Cybertron's history. Abominus. We now have that confirmed as the first combiner. X-Archon and the dark clones that are there, and some of Dia Atlas's issue with the war and what it meant to him.
Yeah, that was great. And then I loved the this is kind of what I was getting at earlier, where Hound and Diatlas talk about the wars and what they have seen together. And Diatlas, he went immersant, and he came out, and he's now against violence. He wants to only pursue peace, but Hound is reminding him, hey, you've fought before, and I get that you want to have peace now, but don't forget why you were fighting, the reasoning behind it. And he actually does a really good job of expressing to Diatlas why he's fighting. He mentions that most of the Autobots don't want to fight. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be killing other bots like the Decepticons, even though they are perpetuating this violent notion and this horrific society. But Hound reminds him, hey, we're doing this for people who can't protect themselves. And it eventually, Diatlas does, agree to take up arms. But in the beginning, Hound has to pretty heavily persuade him. And hey, he says, I get where you're coming from. I understand this, but I've been there, and I've seen the destruction that this can cause, and so I've chosen to take up arms against it. And ultimately, Diatlas comes to the same conclusion, and it was just a really, really great interaction between the two of them, where they both had similar experiences, but taken away very different messages from them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like how Diatlas says that his enemies are me, and if I use violence against them, I use it against all of us. And we go back to where they're like all born from Cybertron, so they're all part of Cybertron. So I like this version of Diatlas, not necessarily compared against the 2005 in a way negatively, but I like the way they're taking it here, because in 2005 they're like, no, we're not going to be part of this war, and they leave. And this one, he's more of like trying to understand, kind of view, like has a different view of the war and the things he's done in the past and how he sees them now. So I like this new take on the character.
I love that we're really like very early on introduced, because this war ramps up very, very fast. I love that they spent quite a few issues getting this character development ready, but when this war finally escalates, it goes fast. And they have spent multiple issues and multiple like branches of comics establishing other characters and outside relationships that we're just now starting to see pulled in. And this violence ramps up so fast. I love that you're not just getting characters who are completely committed to either side. You've got the Autobots, you've got the Decepticons, and you have everything in between. You've got reluctant Autobots, reluctant Decepticons, you've got the diehards. And I love that they are showing every single side of the people who end up fighting in a complete civil war like this, where there's no choice to stay out of the conflict, where not to fight on either side is just a guaranteed death with no meaning. So I love that they're showing that. It's super cool.
It almost feels like someone did their homework.
Really, really
when
does.
Coming up with these characters based on real life
very
events.
much, it screams real.
I like that they're taking it this point of view, because we're so used to just seeing the war of the Transformers, but now we're seeing what happened before and everybody that got in between it, and I really like seeing that, because it gives you a bigger scope of what damage this war has caused for how many million years it goes through, right? Each iteration does war differently, how long it takes, but we can see the ramp up to it and all the casualties and all the destruction it's caused.
And I love the way it
years.
affects each individual bot. They don't shy away from that. They have not once shied away from like the actual psychological stress and the moral and ethical issues that people face in situations like this. And I love it. I'm here for it. It's amazing. It's great.
Yeah, it's so good.
Well, then I hope you like this next part, because I really enjoy Rage, who's a separate character than Road Rage, and Hydra Head are adorable. Shockwave sends them to take back some prototype machinery that the Insecticons stole earlier, and unfortunately they discover the Insecticons have made an army of clones of themselves. A plot used many times in the Transformers history, IDW, G1. Pretty much all of them has done this plot at this point. Any favorite scenes? Because I have one, but it's... I'll wait
I do
until
have
you
a
guys
favorite
go
scene,
first.
and I feel like we actually need to back it up a little bit. The entire reason this happened is because of Skystalker. Skystalker, who was manipulated by the Decepticons, by Megatron and Shockwave, because he's a city speaker, he's the one who caused Vigilim to bring down the tether. And he is so overcome with all this stress and all this emotional grief that he's feeling that he doesn't even see this coming by the Insecticons. Like, they picked their target well, but I just love the interaction that they had, and that they haven't just discarded Skystalker. Like, yeah, he's being used, but it makes sense as to why he was chosen as a target of the Insecticons, because he was so preoccupied and so distracted and so stuck. The Decepticons didn't care. He'd served his purpose. They were just keeping him there so he couldn't go run to the Autobots and try and fix it. So I think it's just as interesting about how this entire disaster for Shockwave came around, right? Because the Insecticons are supposed to be keeping a low profile, and because they managed to target the correct bot, who was easy to be manipulated because he felt like he had nothing left to give, right? It's very easy to manipulate people who don't have any sort of motivation for anything. So I thought that was great. That was one of my favorite scenes that led to this mass chaos by the Insecticons.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Poor Skystalker.
Skystalker.
Yeah.
He's gone through a lot. I enjoy Hydra Head a lot. Like
they're hilarious.
They are the little gadgeteer that makes new toys, and they're like, I want to try them out and like study all of them. And
oh my god,
remind me of Grease.
Just Grease and Smolder.
A little bit, but
Grease from our Transformer and Rollout D&D. So feel free to check that out.
Yeah,
totally not not obligatory
Not
insert.
sponsored.
Yeah.
But,
Go on.
but
Sorry.
he creates a little bit of an acid gun, and they're like getting into the Insecticon's lair, and he's testing it
Oh my
out
gosh.
front of the lair. And Ray's just like, "Don't do that! You're gonna give us away." And he's like, "No, but look at the acid; it's working. And, like it's staying there." And he's like just involved, and I just like
I thought it was
his
great when they got
personality
so
much.
excited
It was
about
great.
how the acid weapon worked, and then just to be like devastated when they found out it was a clone. That was hilarious. That was great. They're like, "We
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it!" Oh,
Yeah, they're like,
no.
we're done. We're gonna run away.
Yeah.
They're like, if we just killed Kickback, then why is there Kickback
That was
right here? So good. All right. So my favorite scene is when the swarm gets out and they start going towards the organics, and Atlas finally comes to terms like, oh, okay, I got to defend people here by killing. And he pulls out his sword and he uses the same line
that was
from
so cute.
Optimus from Rise of the Beast.
I love
Let
it.
them
Let them come. It was so
It's
wonderful.
great. It was foreshadowed in the comics.
Let them come.
It was great.
Anyway, how much time does it take to make these many clones? Because it
No.
didn't feel like a lot of time has passed.
Yeah.
There's an entire armada. Like these machines
there's
must be
just
making
gotta
them
be-
instantly or something. Because
I imagine that it must correlate to like, the ability to speed something up based on, how much power it's powered by. So I just imagine the Insecticons are just going ham on whatever they can find and making as much energon as possible to fuel this thing. But they have so many clones. I don't know how they're doing it this fast. It can't.
So
I mean,
many.
yes, organics walk much slower, but it can't have been that long of a time span, especially since we haven't seen anything else happening from like the Decepticons.
well, we do
I don't
know
know.
they're smart, so maybe they
I
know
feel like-
something we don't.
Maybe. I know throughout the comics we see some Titans fall from space, and we see two in two different occasions. So I feel like maybe that was a way to help us kind of with the time skip, because they said there was one falling, but it wasn't close enough to fall, and then the next one falls. So I feel like that was kind of help us a little bit with the time frame between them. Like they don't tell you like it's been 24 hours or how long it's been, but I feel like that was a way.
I imagine it's been
kinda
at
help
least
the
a
reader.
few Cybertronian solar
with that.
cycles. Like it's been a while, but it hasn't been probably more than like a mega cycle or two. Like it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our next scene brings us to this is when everyone's fighting off the swarm. I
Oh, I
really
love
enjoy
them.
Gears and Wheeljack working together to fight the Insecticons attacking
Yeah.
Leviathan. I also really enjoy when Gears was fixing up Leviathan. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really good the second time around or something." And he's like, "What happened the first time? I welded my hand to the
That was
the leg."
great. I loved that.
Yes.
For Gears.
It was a great. I
I just
like
want him to
Gears,
find
what
something
they've
he's
done with
really
Gears
good
is
at, because
great.
at this point he deserves it. How many trips into space has he made that Cosmos
Right.
had to rescue?
Oh, absolutely.
I think he said it was almost his
At least
300th or
four?
something. No.
At least four,
Yeah,
I wanna
At least
say.
4
Like-
that we know.
like
Oh,
300
well, yeah,
or
4
something.
in the
Poor
panel,
guy.
but yeah.
Like it's so common that they just have a protocol for it. Cosmos just has sensors set up to detect it. Code Gears.
It's just code Gears. Go help Gears. I do like the organic, and I don't know what kind of race it is. They have a giant orb, almost like a diver suit from Earth, and they have 4 weapons that electrocute the swarm. And Wheeljack is like, and he's like telling Wheeljack like,
The Aovans, yeah.
let us defend ourselves. And we'll
With
just
your
like,
little
what are you gonna do? And he's like,
it might not
yeah.
be.
Well, I don't know if this. I thought
could have been.
it was from a different race, because there's
Yeah.
multiple organic. It's not the Aovans
Mhm.
only, but Wheeljack is like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's
He's
like,
like,
"Well,
"What?"
there are weapons out there to kill Cybertronians," and so he just starts snapping. Yeah, and then he ends up borrowing the
Yeah.
weapons from the character, and so Gears and him use it to save Leviathan, and then they both like. Gears goes like, I don't feel so good, and falls, and then Wheeljack's like, yeah, we've used a lot of
That was
and then
wonderful.
falls too, and it was great.
So good.
The feints.
We end the story with
Not
Straxus
surprising.
leaving everyone behind, but the swarm
surprising.
dispersed to live to eat another day. The survivors take the last working arc safely out and leaving only Road Rage and Nautica behind to continue helping others on Cybertron. Any final thoughts or things we want to circle
I
back to
love Nautica
before
and
we
Road
move to
Rage.
Rod Stars?
I love them, and I love the
I like
arc
the-
foreshadowing too.
Yes, 100%.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited. I like the teaser at the end with the G1 arc at the hangar
Yes,
bay.
yes.
So that was pretty good.
I wonder what
I
that's
have
going
no
to be
idea.
used for.
I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, is this gonna turn into the Titan from the Kingdom toy line? Is there a possibility of this being a Titan? But I'm not sure of that. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
I'm sure it'll crash on Earth.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I wanted to see if it'll, become a giant robot.
All I want to do is see
Oh
you
my
turn into
gosh.
a giant robot.
I don't know.
I think that's how it goes, right?
Close enough.
No,
Close enough.
we have to do. We
All right,
know
we ready for
we're not
Rockstars?
done yet. What have we not
No.
done yet? What have no
Then get
Onyx?
on
What
to
have we
it.
not done yet
Get on to it, Clickbait.
today? Exactly. Therefore,
pander
it
to
is
clickbait.
now my turn. No. Shh.
It's Killobyte's corner.
Oh,
Where
Primus.
Killer gives you the best quotes of the episode.
Oh, we
Starting
haven't
with
done a Kilobyte
my
corner in
Primus,
forever.
excuse
Kilobyte,
you,
take it away.
Killobyte. No, thank you.
Well, there's this quote on page
Oh
4.
my Primus.
Okay, you may go
Okay,
quickly.
thank you, Kilo. It is time.
And then there's this one other
Oh
thing.
my Primus. I'm gonna have Swerve's bouncer come and get you, okay?
I don't think he can afford one because he doesn't even pay us.
That's what you think. That's what you think.
You're on your own. I'm the bouncer, and I'm sitting
Wait, we're
here.
getting paid? Wait, hold on, Clickbait. We're getting paid?
You're not getting paid.
All right, take it
Okay,
away. Take it away.
anyways,
I'm sure this episode's already long enough.
Anyways, for Clickbait's quick quotes, I only have, I believe, 2 today. The first one is from issue 1. It is from Wheeljack, and it's when he's very upset and recounting what was going on back, I believe, on the Winged Moon. And he goes, "They shot me. I was explaining important stuff, and they just shot me." And he was so upset about it, and it was adorable. And I
That was
loved
so
it.
good.
It was so
That
good.
seemed very
It was very
Wheeljacky.
Wheeljack.
Yes.
I don't like how I said that, but that seemed very much on box.
Yes. And then my other one is in issue 2 when Mudslinger is talking to Nautica. And he goes, "Ambidextrous, huh? Is that a real word, Nautica?" She goes, "Yes, Mudslinger." And then Mudslinger goes, "Hey, Tote, did you know that there's a thing called ambidextrous and that these organics aren't?" And I felt like the organics should be a little offended by that because that was that was so out of nowhere, and he
Wait,
made it sound like such a
What's
big
ambidextrous?
thing. Ambidextrous?
That doesn't
No,
sound right. That
no,
doesn't
it
sound
is a
like
real word.
You-
Onyx. It is a real word.
It
It means
is.
you can use use
No.
both of your hands the same. So like humans, they have
Well, why don't they just say
because that
that?
takes too many words. So Onyx,
That's what it means.
But then you have to explain
Well,
it to me.
it's not
should
my
take
fault you
more
haven't
work.
had your processor upgraded in a while, okay?
Oof.
Wow,
Anyways,
rude. I don't even have
what it means
stick burn for that one.
humans
Yeah, he doesn't even have a processor. See? There we go.
Wow. Go polish yourselves, okay?
You know what? You know what?
No, go park yourself.
Oh my goodness. Listeners, I apologize for their behavior. Like I said,
Our
they haven't had their
behavior.
The
processors
drinks were good
upgraded.
tonight.
Yeah, what did Swerve put in this one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so ambidextrous is a thing. Humans have it. It's when they use one hand more than the other. It's weird. I don't
Wait,
get it. But
isn't it
yeah,
both
that's a
hands
thing
the
that they
same?
do.
Yeah,
No,
you just said
if you're
ambidextrous was
you're-
both,
no,
and
no,
then
no,
you
no,
just said
no.
it was
Listen,
one hand
I was
more than the other.
okay. Listen,
I'm getting mixed
Onyx.
signals here. And you say my processor doesn't work.
No, no. I need
Here we go.
to clear this up.
Kilobyte, lead us
Guys,
into
like,
Rockstar.
correct us in the
What it
comments.
is
So these issues
that
were great. I really liked them, and I like the social commentary about them, and I like seeing all these characters interact within each other. I thought Straxus was a new character. I Googled them, like the Earthlings say, and they definitely look different, so that's why I got confused. But I like the design and all that. I think these ones are great miniseries. Not because of the action, but I feel it was more on the social commentary and how the Cybertronians are interacting with the different organic races on their planet and trying to save them, and like having this conflict of like, do we save Cybertron and other Cybertronians, or do we also save these other races, these organics that are living here with us, and it's our job to also defend them. So I would say 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with you. I think also 5. I think there's a theme coming on with this continuity. Each set, each volume, each miniseries has a specific goal in mind with commentary about war. It's not just black and white, good versus evil. There's grays, there are innocents, there are casualties of war, there are things that most people overlook because, you know, it's easy to overlook when the victors write the history books.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Onyx. But I'm.
Thank you. I do have a processor.
It's a little
All
bit
right, I'm done. Go
degraded
ahead.
and outdated, but we're not going to go into that tonight. Anyways.
First off, rude.
Anyways, I'm going to agree with 5 out of 5 Rod Stars. We've established that I love character development, and I love when they take the time to show the cultural implications, the moral implications, the ethical implications, and actually show that this is not black and white. It is not cut and dry. There's not just two sides to every story. And this comic series has been incredibly consistent about that. And I think a lot of us, there was initially some distaste about these comics, and I think we may just need to go back and reread these, because rereading these are very well done. It just hasn't picked up to the kind of classic level of Transformers action.
I think I know the reason, and this usually happens when there's a reboot or restructure of a comic. The previous series was really good, and it did its own thing. It was trying to do some other. It was like a adventure in space kind of exploration, and then after war exploration, and they were really good. I'm going to say that, and I think with that in mind, that got canceled early. Like they wanted more issues and stuff, but it got canceled ahead of its time before it can properly conclude most of its plot lines. And then this continuity came out, and I think some of the peoples or some of the bots who really liked the previous continuity came into the expectations that this would be similar. And it's not,
it is.
but it's still good. It's good in its own
agree
way,
completely.
if that makes sense. What do you think, Kilo, since you were there with us for the first continuity?
No, I think these are very good. It's a new take, and I feel like that happens a lot with the Transformers media, because even with the shows, when a new show comes out, there's always the previous show that you saw and you liked, and when a new one come out and they change a couple things, then you're like, ooh, I don't know. And I feel like it just takes a little bit of time to get used to the new show or the new comic that you're reading, and kind of get into what they're setting up, and not kind of compare it to the old one. And I know I've done a lot of comparing, but it's usually been positive comparings, because like there's some ways that I liked from 2005, and there's other things I liked from 2000 or 2019 continuity, and it's always been like, I like what they did with this character here, and I like what they did here, and so it's like they're taking it in their own ways, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I think the listeners should give this continuity a chance, because it's very interesting.
I totally agree.
Absolutely. But listeners, that was a long-winded way to do Rod Stars. What do you think these comics, or how many Rod Stars would you give it? Let us know by leaving a comment below. So, we do not have any emails to read to you today, but I have been in contact with some voice actors for some upcoming Q&As. I'm sure some of them have already released now because we record these comics ahead of time, but they will also be joining us for some D&D. So stay tuned for that. If you would like to email us, you can email us at swervesbarpodcast@gmail.com. That is SWERVESBAR podcasts@gmail.com. Are you two ready for Transformers Volume 5, issue 31 to 36?
I'm ready.
All right, and we're now reaching the section of the show where you guys can brag about a new toy that you may have gotten.
Just one.
Just one, because you gotta save them for some other episodes. If you do them all now, you'll have.
I don't remember what the last toy I got was, and if I have already said it on this episode, on this podcast. I'm sure by the next time we record, I will have multiple toys, so then I can do it.
Okay, that works for me.
Wow, I see how it is.
Kilo?
Well, I myself got a Metalhawk from Legacy.
Ooh!
I found it randomly. I found it randomly in a store here on Cybertron, so I got myself a Metalhawk. Nice figure. Nice. They're using the Cyclonus mold. I do like the design for the 2005 comics, because it was the first one I saw. But I think this is not bad. I like the head mold, And it's if you already have the Kingdom Cyclonus, it's pretty much the same transformation and all that, but a little bit redecoed to look like Metalhawk. So
Fun.
pretty good.
Very fun.
Nice. I have the Shattered Glass.
Oh, that's
Grimlock
what
that
I
I got
got.
from one of my dear friends. Dear friends, High Beam. Fantastic. Go check them out on Twitch. They stream video games and whatnot. It is a wonderful Grimlock toy.
Gorgeous.
I appreciate it. I have it here on my desk next to my other Grimlocks, and it's great.
They do travel in herds.
They do travel in herds. Well done. That's from the Parks of Prehistoric Times
that
movie,
one.
right?
Yeah, The Land Before
It's such a
Time.
great movie.
The Land Before Time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one where they're all like excited for the fireworks in the sky?
No.
I think so.
Okay.
Oh
No?
no.
Those weren't fireworks?
With-
Oh.
Yeah, where the giant rock in the sky waves
Onyx.
to him and then decides to pay a
Yes.
visit. Did
you
I have
had
it wrong? Okay, I have it wrong apparently.
I think that was Warstar because there's a giant rock that shoots a
Warstar.
No,
beam,
I thought it was a
right?
moon. It's a
No,
moon.
that's a moon.
It's a moon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
It's a
moon.
moon.
But isn't a moon a rock?
Well,
Moving on. If you've enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. If you want to help out the show even further, we have started a Patreon. All of the proceeds will go to supporting the show and keeping the lights on. Of course, we offer several forms in several tiers with other levels of gratitude, such as 3D files, entry to our Discord channel where you can chat with us live, and you'll even get early access to our comic review videos and D&D a week before their
That was
public
a lot to
release. Wow,
say.
that was a lot to say. I'm so sorry.
It was.
Patreon members.
Again.
I know. Me lay off the Andrex. Patreon members, important news. We are getting our buttons, pins. We are getting our pins, and you will be getting one for free. They come in two different styles. They're both the Transformers D&D podcast, the Transformer rollout, one with the Autobot logo in the Autobot
Yes.
Matrix, and one with the Decepticon logo in the
Matrix.
what we want to call
Dark
that, the
Matrix.
Dark
Dark
Matrix,
Matrix?
Heart of
Yeah.
Darkness, you know. So
That
yeah,
one.
you'll get one of those for free, and I will message you as soon as they get here, and I will contact you and send them your way. Also, we have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before. So click that subscribe button. Tell your friends it's a good time. Make them listen to it. Give them headphones. Watch them listen to our show.
I don't
And
think
then
that's gonna work.
It's someone told me this. It's like a pyramid scheme. So you have
Onyx,
one friend,
Onyx,
you
Onyx.
tell them, and then both
gotta
you
update that
friends go
process,
tell
buddy.
another friend, and then there's four friends. And then... Anyway, as always, we hope you all have. It broke. It broke. What does the rest of this say?
You're all staying safe
Hang on,
out
hang
there.
on. No,
Thank you so much for
wait.
listening
Don't
to
forget
our
that we
one.
have a Redbubble. If you
Bye-bye.
want to support us, we have lots of fun merch on there. It does help us support. It does help support us, help us keep the lights on. We have all sorts of fun things from stickers to t-shirts to phone cases. It is a phone, right? Yeah, we do have. I think we have
Shower
one or two
curtains.
of those actually. And they are energon proof, so the water just falls and the energon just falls right off of them. So they're definitely good for shower use.
What kind of
And-
showers do you take?
Hey, I
take
don't want you to
oil
take
baths.
it to
What is
I
going
mean,
on?
I
Are you
could be.
bathing in the blood of your
what's
enemies?
it to you?
Listeners, that'll be all
Till
for
all are
tonight.
one.
Till all are one. Bye
Till all are
bye.
one. Bye-bye.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Swerve Podcast, and even on Tumblr. Yes, with everything going on Twitter, we figured we should cover our bases. Speaking of which, you can also find us on Twitter at Swerve's Bar, if that's still a thing. If you're interested in more content, try checking out our spin-off D&D series, Transform and Roll Out. Season 3, titled Eons, is now available. Let's tune in to a preview now.
I say to Synthwave, I've never been rescued like that before. Must have been my lucky day. Have you done this sort of thing before?
Well, I may or may not be a rescue bot, so this might be kind of typical, but it usually never works out this well, so I would say that's pretty lucky.
Well, you must be very good at it.
Then she just kind of like blushes and looks away shyly.
Domina ships this. Swerve isn't shipping this already.
Says it out loud.
Primus, help!
Do you have any rope, Scorchmas?
Yeah. Do I have any rope?
Yeah,
Good
'cause
question.
I
Let me
don't.
see what's in my pouch. Ah, yes. No, I do not have any rope.
Wait. Tell Lindsay what she sees before we keep going.
Please tell me what I see. I was like, wait, we have entrance music? This is awesome.
Well, that was certainly something. There is also a YouTube channel with bonus content, such as video games containing funny comments and trendy shorts. A link will be provided below. And if you're so inclined, you can support us on Patreon, where you can get even more bonus content, such as reading files, access to their Discord, and listen to the content before it's released to the public. More links will be provided below. End transmission.